lineups suck tonight.
I think mine are going to end up good.
You missed yesterday. I had like a good one with that San Diego Padres Rockies one. I had a couple of like really good lineups, but yesterday not good. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Osmo.com live before lock stream. Better late than never is what we're going to title this one. My name is always Chris Spags. I'm joined today again by the star of this channel, Josh Engelman.
What's up, everybody?
And Josh just struggled getting back from Chick-fil-A, so that was real. But Josh pays off my bets, and he goes to get chicken.
And we tweeted out for the second time today a live stream link with yesterday's date in it. So I'm really at the top of my game.
That's the charm here of the Osmo.com brand that we are building day by day.
Exactly.
Who plays on the Osmo account on DK? Osmo is the one who plays on the Osmo account. Yeah. He is the top DFS player in the world who goes by the name Osmo is the one who plays on the account named Osmo.
Yes.
We'll answer the easy questions up front. We will answer the tougher questions as this goes on. But first, before we do that, make sure to go to playline.com right now. Get your lineup in. Playline.com/r/Awesemo. AWESEMO. If you get in now, you get a free $5 just for signing up with that referral code. You can join our contest where tonight you're picking the lines for Jimmy Butler, James Harden, and a third person who I keep forgetting every single time.
Russ.
So how do I forget Russ? It's like every time I say it, I know two, and the third one falls out, and it's a different third one I forget each time. It's really impressive, actually. But make sure to go sign up. You can compete against me, compete against Josh, compete against Osmo, of course. MILF starlet Lisa Ann, who is also a Playline owner, I think, and player, will sometimes join in too in a lineup way, not in the way perhaps in other ways she joins in. But go to sign up now, playline.com/r/Awesemo, and you can get in there.
Not in her.
Not. Boy, it's tough with word choices sometimes when one of your company's owners is a famous adult film actress. But,
yeah, for real.
But she's also pretty good at fantasy sports. She's always the top of those contests, and I've seen before she was on like a serious fantasy sports podcast or radio show.
She's a pro at being on top of things.
They're a partner, Josh. They are and not a sensual partner. like some of the videos, but
I mean, is that not a true statement? It's not like it's a secret.
No, it's true. I mean, that's part of her brand. I think that's part of what got her so famous, was that she was like the cool chick who likes sports, and then also, enjoys a couple of D's from time to time.
Right.
Who doesn't?
I'm proud of her.
Being a Renaissance person is a point of pride for me. I'm sure it's the same for her. Do different things. Bill Butlicker's. I'm not going to read your chat, but I probably.
Anybody?
God.
I'm not even trying to be funny here. I would probably not.
No, Jizz Dragon, we were talking about Lisa Ann. Mia Khalifa does not own or do anything good in daily fantasy sports, so we only have one porn star we love here, and that's Lisa Ann. MLB, Josh, let's do that up front. We like MLB, or you like MLB.
I do.
And you did NBA already, so let's go back to MLB for you.
Okay.
Tell me who do you got? Who are the stacks? Who are the pitchers? Who's coming up the most in your lineups?
Yeah, we'll see it a little bit more in detail in a half hour, but pitching-wise, Kershaw is going to be involved in a lot of my lineups. I'd say 95% of everything I have will be Kershaw, Eduardo Rodriguez, Chad Kuhl, and Michael Wacha. Those are the four guys that are going to have essentially all of my exposure from the pitching side. On DK, it'd be Kershaw, Eduardo Rodriguez, Wacha.
No Chad? No Cool Boy?
He's not available.
Oh, we know cool. Oh, he's not.
No.
I had him yesterday. That's why.
That Tigers game is not on the DraftKings slate.
That makes sense. That makes sense why I didn't fall back in love with him again tonight, because I had him and I was feeling good about it, and then we got the postponement.
Jake says Eduardo Rodriguez is the GOAT.
Interesting. Jake made a bold proclamation yesterday, which did not come true. And I don't want to be a person who calls us out.
It sort of did. We're talking about the Brewers stack.
No, that one was right. the Corey Seager one where he said that Corey Seager was going to hit a home run. And
I talked to him that. Yeah, he said
it was specifically
the best
for him.
lefty bat, right?
Yeah, that was his big choice. He was actually fine. He was a totally fine play, but he did not hit a home run for Jake. So that the Brewers stack that was great. You are right. So 1 for 2, which is a great batting average.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be in the Hall of Fame if you kept that shit up.
What about your stacks tonight? What are your main ones that you're going to a lot?
Rangers and A's for sure. Dodgers for sure. Those are going to be my top 3, and then we'll see once I toss this stuff in here. I just got done entering all of the lineups. I still haven't seen a lineup for the second set of games for the Tigers and Pirates, so I'm a little confused there on whether or not I need to pay attention to that, but I'm going to run that stuff basically right now.
Okay, that works for me. NBA, Josh talked about a little earlier today.
I did.
I didn't watch, so I wasn't spoiled. So I don't know. Just like that in the Avengers movie, I'm just trying to avoid spoilers wherever I can. What basketball? Where did you end up landing in that video? Who are your guys?
Spoiler alert: that movie's probably not going to be that good.
Shut up! You don't like Black Panther either. You don't like Marvel movies? Is this a thing?
I've never seen any of them.
That's stupid. You're stupid.
I don't like visually very appealing. I have no problem saying that, but like I've never gotten into them. I couldn't get through Iron Man, and then I tried to watch the first Avengers, and I was like, this is just boring.
Wow, I'm surprised. I would have thought you like a good superhero movie. Like I think there's too many of them around now, and I even have a hard time. Like I think Marvel does a good a job as anybody of a studio where they just every movie they put out is good. Like they're like Pixar, like in that respect. But yeah, I don't know. Like you can get an Iron Man, that's tough. And the first Avengers was so good, but I feel like maybe you needed to kind of build over years of all those guys.
So I really enjoy. I'm a Batman fan.
Okay.
And I saw I don't remember who was the lead guy. I saw one of the more recent Superman movies, but I ate an edible that day, and it was a pretty intense movie. I think it was like the first one of the current reboot, so maybe like 5 years ago or so, 4 years ago, something in that neighborhood.
So you don't mind DC movies, which are, I mean, Batman ones, I guess not, but like DC's comic universe generally universally reviled, and Marvel's is the beloved one, and you're going the other way. You're going counter programming with that.
Well, I mean, I think Batman is kind of different. Like, Batman's been a part of everything for, I mean, I love the original Batman movie, like, from, I don't know.
Yeah, with Jack Nicholson.
80 whatever, yeah. So, like, that one kind of transcended. So when the first Christian Bale one came back, like, I was in college. It was on then all the time on HBO or Stars or whatever. So I ended up seeing The Dark Knight, like, an overwhelming amount of time. So then I immediately was just interested in that going forward. Ledger dies, so like that becomes interesting. And they were like masterpiece movies too. And then Superman, I just got dragged to. So it's basically just Batman. I'm not really interested in like the comic genre at all.
Huh. All right.
I don't know why either. Like, I don't have like a good reason behind it. I don't have a problem with people liking them or anything. But for some reason, it's just never been anything that like I got into. Maybe I need to try it again.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anthony Mendoza is saying stop talking, get into sports. Anthony Mendoza, I'm saying you stop chatting, and I'll get into sports when I damn well please. We will get into sports in a moment. It's a big thing this week, and Josh said something that's crazy. This is a humanity, personality-driven live stream where I sometimes need to yell at Josh or people in the chat, but today it's Josh. Very upset at you, Josh.
Yeah, maybe I'll dip my toe back in the water.
The thing is, like, at this point, it's almost too late. You got to like start from square one because all this stuff builds upon all the movies. Like, it's really an obsessive, almost addictive thing where you kind of have to get like all in to fully appreciate it. But
I'll go back to the beginning. I don't know where the beginning is, but I'll go back to it.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to see Infinity War tomorrow, like right after we finish this stream. So I'm doing my best to avoid spoilers because there's a trend apparently across the internet of people trying to spoil the movies for everyone because they're out in Australia and there's been a couple screenings already. So don't spoil it for me.
I will not. I wouldn't even know how to spoil it for you. I probably couldn't name two people in that movie outside of Downey.
Okay. Well, there's just a whole other thing we'll say for another time. Got a couple MLB questions before we get into NBA. Let's see which are now. Who are your favorite Brewers bats? We've obviously been pretty deep on the Brewers. Jake is Jake Hari, our boy, who's on Josh's baseball videos in the morning, is in the chat right now. Big Brewers guy. Who are the Brewers you would go to tonight if that's a stack that people want to pursue?
Yeah, Christian Yelich, Travis Shaw. Where's that Brewers lineup?
Ryan Braun.
Ryan Braun on FanDuel for sure. I don't have the updated Brewers lineup in here right now. I knew I missed one.
I have a DraftKings Brewers stack right now with Shaw, Villar, Aguilar, Yelich, and Braun. Those were my guys. We didn't love Aguilar and VR, I think, on the site. Osmo didn't love him in his rankings. But, you got to go with your heart. And I wanted to go Brewers again. I liked them yesterday.
No, I get that. I'll like Yelich, Braun, Shaw, and then, Kane, Domingo Santana. You can go either direction, really.
It was a fun stack to have last night. Honestly, I've been happy with the two stacks I've had in the last couple of days with that Rockies-Padres stack and then with that Brewers stack. Very fun stacks to root for. Also stacks that piled up points fast. And then, I was excited. I feel like I'm building positive memories of baseball now that are almost similar to basketball, but not quite.
Yeah, if I were on FanDuel, it'd be Kane, Yelich, Braun, and Santana. And then, I would try to work Shaw in, but I don't love his price. He's actually $100 more expensive on FanDuel than he is on DK.
Do you find Faria worth a shot tonight? I think we had him in one of our articles, though. I don't remember because I just reviewed them all before coming on. How do you feel about Faria?
It's not my favorite thing in the world. He's a GPP play. Has the ability to get Ks. Gets a little loose sometimes, so he's not a guy that I would rely on in cash or anything. As a second starter on DK, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think actually Jake had him in his spotlight pitchers, and Osimo signed off on him, though he liked Trevor Bauer a little more, I believe. So.
Really? Trevor Bauer,
he said, another pitcher I really like is Trevor Bauer versus the Cubs.
Interesting. I mean, not that I disagree, but...
Hey, you know what? Agree to disagree. That's fine. You can A to D whenever you want here, Josh. That's like Lisa Ann. Damn it! I was trying. I was so good in the first one. I really held up. Let's see. Any other baseball questions? We're gonna talk baseball. How about Arrieta on DK? He has a high strikeout rate versus righties.
I'd rather spend $900 less and take Eduardo Rodriguez.
All right, so big E money. I don't know if that's his nickname, but it is to me right now. Big E money.
I don't have an issue taking Arrieta. I just think there are better options.
Interesting. Yeah. Also Kershaw. Granted, again, I've only been playing baseball this season. Boy, that money line is real high, huh?
Yeah, monstrously high.
Is that how high can it get? Can it get much higher than that?
That's one of the higher I've seen. Peak Pedro had some really crazy lines.
But interesting. Once I saw that, I was like, I'm not going to not play Kershaw. I don't care what it costs to get there. I just got to play this guy who's a minus 350.
Yeah, it's a really ridiculous line tonight.
Jeez. I mean, the Marlins are a bad team, but I need to go to a Dodger game. I was going to think about going the other night because I wanted to see Walker Buehler pitch. I actually thought about this. I should have. It would have been $5 probably, but one of these games. Kershaw start probably is the one to go to.
I saw him pitch.
Let's see. I was out. Was that one of those transcendent experiences seeing him pitch, or is that not the same?
I saw him in San Francisco last summer.
That's a good place.
I guess. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Had pretty cool seats. Really good view of watching him pitch. Weather was perfect. The whole experience was great because Giants that stadium is really nice, and the weather was phenomenal. So the whole situation was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. And also a classic rivalry seen in that park with one of the best pitchers. That's probably a good matching of everything to come together.
Yeah, and Cueto threw for the Giants, so it was an actual really good pitching matchup when we were there.
Good choice. Good choice of a game.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Ozuna making his debut tonight. Do you have any feelings on him?
I hope he goes 10 for 10.
Or are we talking about the other Ozuna? Adam Burst, which Ozuna? I don't know. There's too many Ozunas, which is not an issue I would have ever thought I would have in life.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Acuna, the Braves call-out.
Oh, I thought he was actually. You know what? I'm just an idiot who mixed up Acuna and Ozuna. So that's my bad. How do you feel about Ozuna then?
How do I feel about Ozuna? Let's take a look.
Do you have love in your heart for him, just in general?
And in the future, like, use the first name as well. not you, like chat.
No, I know you're right. But the thing is, like, I fucked that up. That one's on me. But I agree. Use a first name and no nicknames. I don't like your fucking nicknames, chat.
Yeah, like if it's hey, you rostering Greek Freak tonight. Like when it's a nickname that everyone knows, when it's like accepted terminology. But anyway.
Yeah, you can go KD for Kevin Durant. But if you call him Kevy Pie, I probably will be a little confused, even though I know basketball well as anyone. And I'd love to call him Kevy Pie. Yeah, the Blog Boy King. What's your stance, Blog Boy King or Mr. Shoots a Lot? Like what? Huh?
Ozuna looks good. It's a good matchup against the lefty. I don't have any problem having him or a Cardinal stack.
Okay, we'll talk some more baseball. Let's do basketball. The people demand basketball. I think.
Do the people demand this bite of spicy chicken sandwich with a little bit of pickle sneaking out?
Ooh, treat yourself. It's your day. It's your day.
I didn't treat myself. You did.
No, I know. But, I mean, you should treat yourself, too, and I want you to enjoy it because it comes from a place of agony for me. So it only will fuel my fire more the next time I go and make an outrageous proclamation that ends up being wrong.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad. That's all I care about.
Good.
Paul George or Jimmy Butler? Which of those would you go to tonight? Very similar prices, I think, on both sides.
Shit. Let's take a look. Paul George or Butler? I'll answer FanDuel first. Give me George on FanDuel. Give me George in general.
I agree with that. I think Mr. Butler might show up tonight. I don't know why I just call Mr. Butler. We're just going to give everybody stupid nicknames when we talk about him. I think Mr. Butler, I think the Butler did it, is going to have a good day. Just because he's one of the guys who cares on that team. And I think there are a few guys who are going to phone it in tonight because, I don't know, that spread worries me in that game. But I think that Butler's an okay play. George is just safer. George has been right there. He's been missing a shitload of shots. So if he hits a couple, he could actually smash it out of here. I think also the Thunder are a decent chance to roll over tonight. Russ won't, but that team kind of phoned it in after Russ picked up his 4 fouls last game. I didn't love that. Russ is a popular play tonight, but how do you feel about Russ tonight?
It's hard to not like him. His price is just so tiny. I don't even get it. Like he's 10-6. He's $1,200 cheaper than Harden.
Oh yeah, on FanDuel.
I mean, even $300 cheaper than Harden is crazy. Like
he's been dog shit this series though.
He's
to be
only
clear,
$100 more expensive than John Wall. That's a really
John Wall's been
thing.
stellar.
Sure, but I mean that's a lot of course correction for Russell Westbrook. I love Russ tonight. I would have especially on FanDuel. I would have like an absolutely crazy amount of him. I think I have him in the. I built a single entry lineup on FanDuel during the live stream today. So remind me to check that because I forgot until right now.
Somebody's back to basketball, huh? All right.
No, it was something fun to do. So I got in like the $25 single entry.
Yeah, no, get back into basketball, Josh. We've got a couple great matchups next round. I think you're gonna like it. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
I couldn't care. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna watch the living shit out of it, but boy, could I not care about it one way or the other. From a DFS perspective.
I get the Russ love. We have him as an A value tonight and an A in points. He's one of, I think, he might be the only guy on slate with both those. On the Awesemo.com premium rankings, which you should sign up for, so you don't have to rely on me throwing them out secondhand information-wise. But I don't know, like John Wall being $100 less, like it almost feels like some sort of Jedi mind trick where they're like, well, you don't want to pay this for John Wall, do you? But John Wall's in a game where like he's been putting up 60 points in every single game of the series besides one, 60 fantasy points rather. and Westbrook has put up 40 twice and hasn't even broached 60 once. So I get it. It seems like a thing where a lot of people are going to take that bait, and I don't know that you should, given that one's on a team that's completely given up, and one is on a team very much in the fight who's like been great lately. Peter Cowrie asks, do you like the strategy of fading to 10K and up guys for a DK GPP? I actually don't mind that strategy at all. I think you can get to some guys at 8K. There's actually a lot of guys around 8,000 who are pretty good. DeRozan to me looks great. Oladipo I think is pretty interesting. He's played a lot better on the road. I actually heard some basketball podcast I was listening to today was like, Oladipo needs to slow down, and he was too excited in Indiana. Actually, it might have been Bill Simmons.
It was.
And I was like,
listening to that today too.
I thought that was actually a pretty salient point. It's a non-data thing coming from another person telling a narrative thing to me, but I was like, actually, I kind of felt the same way. He was like a little trigger happy, a little kind of all over the place. So yeah, I think you can absolutely fade to 10K guys and go with a bunch of 8K guys and some of the $5,000 guys like a Thad Young. I love Thad Young tonight too. Actually, how about Josh? How about you? Who do you have in that 5,000-ish range? Who let's say 4,000 to 6,000. Who are the guys who you would go there to kind of fill out the roster? Because those are like the most important guys to be playing tonight.
DK, Miles Turner, 100%. You said 4 to 6?
Yeah, 4 to 6.
If we're looking at DK, Miles Turner, if we count Jeff Teague at 6,000, Jeff Teague, Favors, Otto Porter, Eric Gordon.
I love Eric Gordon.
Markieff. Yeah, I can go most of those directions. Melo, I think.
Do any of them stick out as kind of trappy to you? Like, I think Markieff's a little trappy, just given how he just hasn't touched the ball.
I'm a little nervous about Favors' price tag.
I agree with that.
He doesn't have to be a part of a good game.
Yeah, and he's only really had one good game this series.
Like he can be a really good player in this series, but not necessarily a really good DFS option. I mean, what is he, like the fifth option on the team at best? So like, I can see him being a ghost from a scoring perspective and still being like an active participant in the game.
I agree. I think that makes sense. I mean, they just need his body there to kind of keep Russ out of the paint. Yeah. So yeah, he could be a huge impact without even touching the ball. And also, they went to Crowder a lot last time out. When that game got chippy, they went to Crowder fast. I actually went through the game logs and watched some of the video again because I was curious about like how much Crowder was going to get after we talked so much about him last time. I don't think Crowder gets the same run tonight. Royce O'Neal definitely doesn't get the same run tonight because he also got blowout run. It was just super efficient in his time. Like I like Royce O'Neal. I don't think people are going to play Royce O'Neal a lot tonight, and I don't see that at all. It's one of those things again where I feel like you're forcing value.
I have him in for 16 minutes tonight.
Yeah, and he could do sure he can get you 20 points in that 16 minutes, like 20 fantasy points. But I think it's a really narrow outcome you're hoping for when I don't know the game has to blow out maybe. It's just there's a lot to ask there, and a tight game that's I don't know gonna be kind of sloppy.
I mean, I'd rather have CJ Miles for $200 more.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't really anybody who I thought was like a super cheap plug and play guy who I'd want tonight. And they got rid of Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is now just priced like a dude, like a good player.
4,000 on FanDuel. What is he on DK? 46 on DK. He's a bit more playable on FanDuel.
That's fair. Okay, two things right here in the chat. Crowder O'Neal could be on a winning GPP. Yes, anybody could be on a winning GPP. Alex Abrinas could be on a winning GPP. That doesn't matter. There's still other ways, especially with 4 games, to build your lineups. I'd rather pay the $300 more and get Eric Gordon in his 15 shots a game than try to bank on Jameson or Jay Crowder. And this is my Russell Westbrook, Russ Wilson thing. I'm like saying Jameson Crowder over and over again. Like that guy's stuck in my head. Blowout build Gerald Green. I don't hate that. But still, it's an elimination game for the Wolves. I don't think Gerald Green is going to get run unless they have another 3 50-point quarters for the Rockets. I just don't see that.
I would agree. They don't. They would need like Ryan Anderson to be hurt or some sort of other news. There's just not enough minutes to go around right now for that team.
You're like Arisa goes out and then Gerald Green is on the floor more. Like, yeah, there's some way to get there. But again, a very narrow outcome. You're betting on a coin flip that hits 1 out of 100 times.
Agreed.
Josh, would you go Jeff Green or Mike Scott?
Scott.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. But even then, I don't really love Scott. I don't think Scott's as good of a play as he looked a couple of games ago.
I would agree there. But yeah, it's Scott for me over Jeff Green, and that one's not really close.
Roselle Hooker, he's talking about Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder loves Royce O'Neal, yes, but that doesn't mean he's going to get more minutes. Joe Ingles is a starter there. He could play like dog shit. He's going to get 30 minutes. They're not going to bench Joe Ingles after he's had 2 good games.
No.
And also,
they're not going to bench Joe Ingles just in general.
Yeah, I mean, his home road splits, the series aren't great, but also Paul George was playing defense in those first 2 games, and he is not doing that currently. He is fully phoning it in, ready to go to LA. So I don't mind Joe Ingles.
You think he's going to LA?
I think he's going somewhere. I don't think he's staying in OKC.
Oh, no, he's fucking certainly not staying in OKC.
No. That team is blowing up one way or another. I think he wants to go to LA. It's so bad, Paul George. Like, when he was at the games, like the Laker games, and he's like trying to be the mayor, and it's like, you're a road team. Like, be angry. Be like,
boy,
it was
oh
weird.
Boy, would he look nice in Philly.
Oh, he would. He would. I don't see him being the guy who has like the brain power to see that though, and be like. And that's not saying he's like a dumb guy or anything, but I think he's just like locked in on I want to be in a big city, be a star. And if he goes there, I mean, that's Simmons and Embiid's team. Whoever goes there to be a 3rd piece or a 4th piece, like this Philly loves Simmons and Embiid, and I don't blame them. Those guys
had
roll.
A really nice trade in the Kawhi column on ESPN. Kawhi to Philly for Fultz, Saric, a pick, and something else, and I was like, shit, that'd be pretty dope.
I think that's one that would make sense for both teams if Kawhi is fully disengaged and not ready to get back in there.
Yeah.
Antoine Murphy talking about PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker was banged up last game too, and Gerald Green did nothing. So there's no correlation between Gerald Green and PJ Tucker.
Dude, PJ Tucker is like permanently banged up.
Yeah, sure. He's like an old running back. He's just always going to be injured, taped up somewhere. He's going to go out there and hurt somebody.
He's super creaky.
Yeah. I can't. Antoine Murphy's picks always stand out because they're always just like these bizarre ones where I'm like, Steven Adams won't do better tonight. I don't think Steven Adams is a viable player. He hasn't been all series. He hasn't been all year versus Gobert. Is Rubio a star yet? That's a good question. That's also like a good DFS question and a good basketball question. What do you think?
Is he a star?
Is he like a bankable star now?
No.
I feel like this Russ thing was really good for Ricky Rubio's career narrative.
Sure. But like, whoops. I probably just task managered somebody. Yeah, he's just not a star. He's not even close to a star.
Oh man, I mean, look, I'm an unabashed Rubio lover.
I love him, but he's like what, the 15th best point guard in the league at best.
No, that I think that's wrong. He's top 10.
Okay, let's do it.
People want advice. Let's break down all the point guards in the NBA. I think he's a star. I think he's just like the way he carried himself too. And what I liked what he did with Russ was he let Russ be an idiot, and he just took it and he drew 4 fouls and a half on Russ. Like that was amazing. Like it was just Ricky Rubio is playing 4D chess right now as a point guard, and I think like he's my dude. Like the Jazz, if I had to pick a team, like Philly's my pick in the East. If I had to pick a team who's going to be the one who just kind of upsets the whole Houston Golden State party, the Jazz are like they're playing on a whole other level. I'm excited to see them versus a team who runs and like they don't have to bog it down as much.
Let's find a list.
Let's find a list of point guards.
Okay, Curry, Russ, Kyrie, Paul, Lillard, Wall, Lowry. Those first 7 I completely agree with. Isaiah Thomas.
Lowry. Lowry's. I also question using ranker.com as a source, given that they are one of the
I'm just using this so I could have a list. Like Isaiah Thomas is not above Rubio for me, but I just needed a list of point guards.
I'm with you on the first 5. I would give Wall 2. Wall also. Keep going.
Would trade Ricky Rubio for Kyle Lowry in a nanosecond.
No fucking way. Not after this year. Lowry's been on the downswing, whereas Ricky's all upside. Ricky's just. By the way, tonight, if you're not clear, play fucking Ricky Rubio, because Ricky Rubio is a god. It's a god among men who has similar facial features to me.
Kemba, I would take Kemba over Ricky Rubio.
No.
Kemba Walker is the only good thing about the Charlotte Hornets.
Kemba Walker hasn't had 5 assists in a game like ever. He's especially this year, he phoned it in hard. Like he was playing hard offensively when he was mad about getting traded or possibly getting traded. Rubio has been a great ball mover. He got a triple-double in a playoff game. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think people are sleeping on Rubio. Even people who like Rubio, like Josh, sleeping on Rubio.
I'll take Mike Conley. Although, if you want to say Rubio because of Conley's injury, I understand that. If
like,
Conley's
you're not going
healthy,
Bledsoe.
it's Conley.
Bledsoe over, like, Rubio, though? Like, I
would rather have... Ooh, man.
I'd rather have Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons is like a freak.
I don't count him as a point guard
where...
either, but yeah, of course it's Ben Simmons.
Yeah. I think we're pretty firmly in
territory
here.
I'd rather have Jeff Teague.
I think even Jeff Teague could be like, "Oh, have you seen me play these playoffs? Oh no, I don't. This is how Jeff Teague talks. Obviously, a lot of shrugging.
I'm not the only one that thinks that. The Timberwolves got rid of Ricky Rubio to sign Jeff Teague. Like they made that they made that their thing. So
I know, but like he's a different player this year. Like to me, he's had how you've talked about your Oladipo thing, where your stats haven't fully backed out to how good Oladipo was at points. Like, I think that's what Rubio is. Drew Holiday is not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. But yeah, I would say Drew is currently better than Rubio.
Oh, I mean, I don't even think that's remotely close. But I would also don't count him as, like, a true point guard. So
I just think Rubio's fixed his shot. He still is doing assist stuff. He's not turning it over as much. Like, he's gotten to be sort of what people thought he would be as a player, where he's going to, I don't know, like he's matured into the role in a way where I think people are sleeping on him because they assume he's just going to be old Ricky Rubio and turn it over 10 times and brick 15 out of 20 shots.
No, he's going to brick 14 out of 20 now. His shooting percentage barely changed. We went over this.
It's up. It's on the ups. Whatever, man. When the Jazz are in the finals and Ricky Rubio is holding up that MVP trophy, let's remember this moment. This is not going to be one of my bets. I'm not betting this, but it's in the realm of possibility. In the Rick and Morty multiverse, where there's so many things going on at once, there is a world where Ricky Rubio steals a win from Steph Curry, steals a win from Chris Paul, and James Harden. Oh, man. I want to live in that world.
That world does not exist.
Guys, Alex is great. You guys have no idea how much basketball I watch. Like, I've watched a lot of Jazz this year, and that's why I'm so in on Rubio, because like they've just been one of my teams. We don't have to talk about Rubio forever. When people quoting now, when Ricky Rubio's holding his Finals MVP trophy, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that idea.
Man, that'll be quite the party in Salt Lake City that night. Ooh-wee.
You know he's going back to Barcelona with it, and what's he doing in Barcelona? He is having his run of the town. Oh,
he's gonna have his run of like multiple wives.
If you tell me the women of Utah probably aren't creaming themselves over Ricky Rubio, like if you're Ricky Rubio and Joe Ingles going out in Salt Lake City, you are getting all the chocolate milked up girls throwing themselves at you, lifting their bonnets up. I don't. What do they do in Utah? Who knows?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I bet even Lisa Ann would be all over.
That's not a state that I expect to get to anytime soon.
Sure. What about for Sundance? What if we do an Osmo thing at Sundance?
Okay. I'd go.
Yeah, look. We'll hang out with Ricky Rubio and Joe Ingles, and we'll go hit the clubs.
We'll go watch Queens Boulevard.
All right, who's your point guard choice then? Sub 10K division. If it's not gonna be Rick Rubio, is it Jeff Teague?
Chris Paul. I mean, if I just have to pick one, like it's Chris Paul.
Would you consider him like a lineup building block for you tonight?
No. But if I had to pick a point guard that was under 10K, I'd pick Chris Paul.
Let's make a tough choice. I know you like doing the price thing and stuff, but I feel like with the playoff things, you're sort of building backwards for some of these lineups where like to me, some of the lineups that have been winning have been more the methodology of pick 3 players you think are going to have the highest score tonight and then just build around them as best you can. So if you're to do that, which point guard, like being agnostic, which one, knowing what you know about the slate, knowing the places you could build, which is the one who you would say, like, I need to go with this guy first?
And we're not counting Russ, right?
We can count Russ too. We can
Then
count Russ. So you'd go Russ over Chris Paul, like despite the price differences.
I would go
like
Russ over everyone on FanDuel.
Okay.
At any position.
How about a bet? No, never mind. No, I'm gonna rope myself into a bad bet.
You're already thinking about losing another Chick-fil-A dinner. I'm fine with that. I need to eat tomorrow too.
It was going to be a plus EV one for me, where I was going to say Russ top scoring point guard tonight, because I don't think he is. I think it's John Wall, to be honest, or Chris Paul, but I don't think it's Russ.
I can't give you the field in that scenario. There's too many.
That's
other
what
guys.
I'm saying. To me, the field is a fair bet if you're that in on Russ.
No,
Plus, I've lost a couple bets.
Chris Paul, Wall, Rubio, Lowry, like that's too many guys to go the field. It's close.
Oh, so Rubio might do it then? Oh,
Sure.
Look who's changing his tune now.
Him having a good fantasy day today has nothing to do with the fact that he's not a top 10 point guard.
Also, like if you duel head-to-head with a top 10 point guard, a top 3 point guard, and you beat him head-to-head, like don't you take his spot? Like is it not like WWE? Like does he win the Intercontinental belt?
No.
I think he does.
I don't think that's
Intercontinental champion Ricky Rubio.
This is not MMA rankings.
UFC's had a lot of problems with that, so maybe we shouldn't go there. But all right, fine.
I'm a big fan
if you were
of
to
the
choose,
UFC, particularly Playline co-founder Michael Bisping.
ooh, right, playline.com/r/Osmo if you want to compete against Michael Bisping and Lisa Ann and Riddick Bowe. You know, a lot of these people have lived a lot of life, and they might not have time to play lineups. So you can beat them all if you go join our contest right now, playline.com/r/Osmo. Guess the lines of Jimmy Butler, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. All three guys you can guess the lines of and win. If you got it perfectly, $1 million. If you just won the tournament, you win $1,000. But great money either way. Go join now. Playline.com/r/Osmo.
And if you can do something against Riddick Bowe, you should take that opportunity because that dude is a gem on Twitter.
And he's been, like, for a guy who's been hit in the groin as many times as he has by Andrew Galata, he's really recovered well to have a successful career in life.
He's a monster, dude.
He's a large man. That was when heavyweight boxing was the best. Just big guys hitting each other in the dicks, biting each other's ears. That was the living the dream.
I can still picture
baseball.
watching that George Foreman Michael Moore fight when Foreman won the heavyweight title. Watching it on scrambled pay-per-view in my parents' bedroom.
That's a fun way to watch a fight.
Yeah, we had some like weird slide box deal, and if you jammed a piece of paper in at the right angle, like all the pay-per-view stuff came in crystal clear.
That's awesome.
I love that gangster stuff from back in the day. The way people would like steal cable and shit.
Kids today can't relate because, like, what do you have? You go on Reddit and, like, the stream sucks. Like, there's no analogy.
I mean, kids nowadays don't even know about how much we stole music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Napster was a wild time. We were just like, oh, this is free now, right?
I remember installing it on, like, computers in my school. Back when, like, they didn't have security. Like, you just were able to do that.
Oh, Scott McMillan was mentioning the black box. We had that where, like, you would clear the thing. You had to, like, twist something, and then it would clear the cable box for, like, a couple days or whatever. That was weird. That was a weird time.
We had this long, thin, brown box that had, like, a slider on the front of it. Almost like the front of a shitty radio. And, like, you would just pick different channels. But we had, like, paper jammed in it in some way that, like, for some reason, that just made everything work. I might be like, it might have just had paper jammed in it because it was broke and my dad didn't want to buy a different one. But I remember it being like the conduit to the pay-per-view. We certainly weren't paying for the pay-per-view. That much I know for sure.
That's funny. Yeah, like it's crazy how much technology has changed. Where like now that stuff is like there's a hacker who's doing the stuff like jailbreaking like an iPhone or whatever within a day of release. But it's not the same as putting masking tape on your cable box in the hopes that you're like blocking an infrared ray that was somehow allowing you to not get pay-per-view without paying it.
I also remember at one point doing that same situation, but we wouldn't get the audio. So we would have a crystal clear video on one TV and then another TV getting the scrambled version, but all of the audio. It was some poor white people stuff in like 1990.
Yeah, we are talking sports too here. I feel like we've deliberately talked less sports despite that one guy bitching about us doing banter for the first 5 minutes. But we'll answer some questions now. Speed round them in on chat. I will hit them, and Josh and I will answer. DeRozan or Mitchell, which guy would you go with tonight?
DeRozan or Mitchell? I'm almost positive the answer is Mitchell, but let's take a look. Oh, they're literally next to each other. Okay. I mean, this is a bet on who do you think's going to win the game, right? Like, they're essentially they're the same price on FanDuel and $100 different on DK. So, if you think the Jazz close out the Thunder tonight, then I like Mitchell. If you think Toronto takes the 3-2 lead against the Wizards, I like DeRozan. If you think both of those two things happen, I like DeRozan.
I like DeRozan because he posted like a 50% usage rate last game. he shot more than any man's ever shot. Yeah, I mean, that's like what I'm looking for are guys who are just going to gun and who can also do some other stuff. Obviously, both those guys kind of fit a similar profile of that. And Mitchell will get you a little more rebounds than DeRozan does. But I think, like we talked about with Favors, I think the Jazz offense needs Mitchell a little less than the Toronto offense needs DeRozan. Like, Toronto needs DeRozan to do some shit tonight or they're going to be down 3-2. Like, I think that's simple.
Yeah.
The one play I do like tonight, which I mentioned in Switch and Hedge, but I'll throw out there too. I love Jonas Valanciunas tonight. Like, I think he's going to take that whole situation last game where he didn't get back in the game and Pirtle was in. He's going to take that very poorly. But not in the Hassan Whiteside way. Like, that's sort of a thing where this is not something data will ever capture. But Hassan Whiteside is a guy who does not have heart. And if there were some viral things that were around of like him sulking on the sideline while Spoelstra comes up to him while he's waiting to get into the game. He's sitting on the floor being a little bitch about it. Whereas like Jonas is on the bench thinking about how he's going to go out next game and eat Marcin Gortat's ass. Metaphorically speaking, perhaps literally with a side of syrup. But I think overall, like Jonas, I like a lot. Like, and he's just one of those guys who win it. What was that?
Can you imagine how gross that would be? How gross Marcin Gortat's asshole is? Sorry, Tom.
He's bald, so maybe he's like, maybe he's shaving it and keeping it nice and trimmed. We don't know. I don't know. We don't know enough about Marcin Gortat's asshole to really speculate. Lisa Ann's, though.
I know exactly the amount that I want to know.
Is Calderon smart because he's starting?
No,
I agree. I think he actually helps Collison, though. I think he makes Collison a better play because his defense is not George Hill defense, and George Hill's defense is not really George Hill defense. But, yeah, loser of the next bet has to lick Marcin Gortat's gooch. That's a tough
rather
bet.
just buy you some Chick-fil-A, man, for like a while.
You can put sauce on it if it helps. Just going to say.
They forgot my sauce for my nuggets, those jerks.
Is Josh a Magic fan? That's a question coming in a few times.
Oh, no, it's just the wife got me a T-Mac shirt for, I don't know, Christmas or something. So it's just a cool shirt.
And you believe in magic?
I do. I keep singing it, but I don't know the next line.
Yeah, I was just thinking like a dump.
Yeah, I could have hummed the shit out of it, but
Oladipo, Lowry, or Beal?
I'm almost positive it's Oladipo.
I mean,
yeah, it's Oladipo for me.
I think he has the highest ceiling. I think Beal is the safest.
I disagree with this. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Here's my thoughts here. So, in a way, I get what you're saying. He's so dependent to like blow up by getting a bunch of steals, which he's good at. But the pace of those games has been so slow that I find it hard to believe that he's got the same sort of upside as one of these games that have been super up and down. But if he has one of those games where he gets like 2 blocks and 6 steals like he's done this year, that's a whole different sort of upside. I just don't see the same scoring upside as somebody like as Beal would have tonight.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of a lineup thing where to me, like I think I played 10 lineups tonight. Excuse me. I had a little bit of Oladipo because I think his upside's there. He's also just missed a ton of shots. I'm buying into him kind of needing to slow down a little narrative. But I do think that Beal is a guy who's going to get you 40. Lowry's a guy who's going to get you 40. There's a chance Oladipo gets you like 30, and I think that kind of sucks. But that's the risk of a lot of these guys. There's variance all over us, all over the world that we're seeing at every moment.
True.
Thoughts on this? This is like just a lineup. Never mind. Matthew Prodell, I'm not just saying thoughts on your lineup. It's probably fine.
Yeah, well, at least it's baseball, not basketball. Because you could pretty much run any lineup in basketball, and I'd be like, you can get there if you get there.
I'll use your lineup as a teachable moment, Matthew Protoel. I like it because you're stacking guys. I don't like it because you're not stacking enough guys from the same teams. So that's what I would go with there.
I've got something to talk about quick.
Go
ahead. So I built that FanDuel lineup today on the live stream. I'm going to bounce it off you. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
All right. Point guards are Russ and Jeff Teague.
Hate it already.
Perfect. DeMar and JR. LeBron and Lance.
Interesting.
Melo and Mike Scott. Miles Turner.
I don't like about 50% of that lineup.
That's fair. Neither do I.
I think Lance is okay. I don't know that I see him having enough upside. I like him. Like, he's one of those guys who's in that price range on DK where, like, I thought he's all right. But I'd rather go Eric Gordon, whose role I know, and who I believe in the upside of.
So, key thing for that, Lance is 4,500 on DK. He is 3,800 on FanDuel.
That does make a little more sense then, because he seems like almost a lock for 5x at that point. So, okay, I'm all right with that. I don't love Teague. I don't think... I have a little bit of him. He worries me, though. Like, the way he responded to hurting his little pinky finger was, like, such a fucking sad state of affairs. I don't know, man. I think he's done. I think he's just, like, he's ready to call it quits for the year. Sips has run him into the ground. Derrick Rose is outplaying him. Like, I worry about Teague a little in that respect. What's the difference between Russ and Wall on FanDuel?
$100 more for Wall.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, Wall's 10-5 on DraftKings, and, like, in some respects, I mean, it's $200. I wouldn't mind paying more for Wall because Wall's been good, and people will have the same logic where it's like, oh, you got to pay for Russ. I mean, look, I get it. I get all the data. I get all the points. I understand he's an A and an A for us. Like, you're not going to go wrong playing Russ. Let's put it like that. But I think from a game theory perspective, I feel like people are going to see that price discount, see all the angry Russ narrative, and they're going to be like, I got to play Russ. And I'm okay not playing Russ. I would put it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, that lineup makes sense. I think you have, like, the right mix of value and upside. No, like, Russ has been bad. Russ has been bad.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, because I want the Jazz to win.
What do we have? Actually, let me see right now. What do we have ownership at for Russ currently?
On FanDuel, it's got to be through the roof.
I mean, he's like the same price on both sites, so I think it might be similar. Let me see. I have DraftKings open. If it loads correctly, here we go. We have Russ projected on DraftKings currently for 27% ownership,
He's going to be
which would make
on
him
FanDuel then.
Yeah, that would make him the second highest owned point guard on the slate. On FanDuel, let's see. I will just make noises until it loads. Do you believe in magic?
31.
31. Okay. That's not that high, all things considered.
It's the second highest guy on the slate. I mean, if that's not high, nothing's high.
Well, considering, like, at least on DraftKings, there have been a lot of guys at 50%, 40% so far this year. I mean, our projection might be a little low. I think we tend to undershoot a little bit because it's a little safer to undershoot projections, or ownership projections, rather. I don't know.
I mean, the reason that it's only 31 is that Wall plays and Paul plays and Rubio plays and Lowry plays, and, like, there's 7 actually good point guards. So it's not as if, like, small forward goes LeBron, Butler, George, and then, I guess Otto Porter, and then a lot of slop. But there's so much depth at point guard tonight that it's naturally, like, deflating Russ, or naturally deflating everybody at point guard.
Yeah, look, I think that makes sense. And there's a lot of different lineup things that you're gonna have to choose, and I could see wanting to choose other things and go to Russ or even Wall, just because those prices are so high.
Oh yeah, like, I'm not trying to say that I don't like Wall here, but I think it's a little crazy to see Russ $100 cheaper than Wall. I don't care that Wall had 2 good games.
I have a really good question for you from chat, and this is gonna take a real bold take, I think, Josh, on your end. Jacob Thomas is asking, Kershaw? I think he gets a big start tonight. How do you feel about that, Josh? Do you want to go out on a ledge and think that Kershaw's going to have a good start?
Unless this is like the first time that you've seen baseball, or you're just trying to be funny. At which point, congratulations, it worked. Yeah. Kershaw's not a bad... He might have a decent start tonight, judging on what might be the highest baseball line I've seen in years.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just it's funny because like we've discussed before on the stream, people come in and out. People are popping into the stream at any moment, just want to have a question answered somewhere. But yes, we strongly believe Clayton Kershaw is very good, and we talked earlier about he might have the highest money line pitching thing that Josh has seen in a few years. And also, it's the highest I've seen, and I didn't even know it could go that high based on the information I knew. So, what a world. Yeah, there you go. Alex says in the chat, too, he's on a pitcher named Kershaw. Have we heard of him? I've dabbled in Clayton Kershaw before.
I'm with Josh Renshaw. Since he's a fellow Shaw, he's good. I might go ride a rickshaw tonight just because of Kershaw.
Oh, man. Yeah, I like Davison Villard saying, will you be having Crowder night just trolling? Yeah, make sure if you're trolling us, just say like, hey, just trolling at the end. This way we know who's trolling and who's not. We'll feel great. What is the line right now for Kershaw? Do we have that?
By the way, Z Cisco, yes, I got your address. It's easier than actually typing out an email. You'll hear this. What's the like 363 or something was the last I had it at, I think.
Oh, he's up to minus 400 in the Vegas consensus right now on Vegas Insider.
I had 322, 360 as the line when I loaded them last. The 330 so he's minus 370 on Pinnacle, which is fucking bonkers.
Jesus, yeah, the win is the highest I think overall. No, both the win and the Mirage have him at minus 400 now. So that's something, huh? Tell you what, if you're gonna bet some money on Trevor Richards and he somehow won that game, you'd feel real good about yourself.
Hell yeah.
You have fade Kershaw. Fuck it, fade Kershaw. Chick-fil-A bet, fade Kershaw.
There's the tweet from Kanye that said, burn that Excel spreadsheet. I might get that tattooed on my arm.
If you're going to take any life advice from Kanye, that is the best one to take, I think.
I mean, he leads a better life than I do.
Shauna Evans, my third husband says the Bo Sox put up 14 runs tonight. If you can trust anyone...
What do your other husbands say?
It's true. Can we get a consensus, like a 5 out of 10 dentist say, like kind of thing?
I like to take an average of things. So can you ask 1 and 2, please?
Yeah, NBA lineup's just locked, guys. So hopefully you got them in, and you went with Jonas Valanciunas and Ricky Rubio. If you didn't, sorry, you lost. The night's already over for you. Baseball, you have 5 minutes. So okay, if you have any last-minute baseball questions, get them in. We will hit them, I promise. Pinky swear. What would you do with Candelario on Detroit?
What do you Candelario on Detroit? That's a hell of a question.
I put it in English for us. I tried to help. Didn't want to judge. The thing is, like, he wasn't even like a foreign name, or he might have like reasons to have bad English. But I protect all.
I mean, if he plays, I don't want him. So, how's that? I wouldn't want anyone on the Tigers whatsoever.
Bill Butler not showing the class I would hope for in the chat.
Oh boy.
Jeez. What a ribald live stream this has been.
That got aggressive real quick. I'm out here just eating Chick-fil-A Sammys.
Oh, true. Yeah, at the end of the day, that is the wholesome brand that we want to support the most, Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Oh boy, this guy swapped out J. Val and Rubio for a team of Paul, Turner, and Capella. You know, people might say you're right. Josh likes Miles Turner too, but I would go J. Val and Rubio personally. At least J. Val. Love at 40%. Woof. That is.
From Salt Lake, Jazz closeout. Is your third husband, like, do you have all of those actively as husbands? How does that work? Or is that the reverse? It's the reverse.
No, women cannot have multiple husbands, and polygamy doesn't go that way.
Got it. Oh, man, that's some old school stuff then, huh?
Yeah, no, their polygamy rules really need to be updated for the modern 2018 gender roles that we have.
Yeah.
Bit unfair. Any baseball questions? Anyone? I will hit them. Kemp or Delano on FanDuel?
Kemp or who?
I think Delano. I don't even know.
I don't know who the
Delano DeShields?
Maybe, but that's not how it's spelled.
I thought maybe there's also a player named Delano or Deano.
I'm going to answer Shauna Evans' question of Mazara or Joyce instead.
That's fair.
Um,
Don't want to upset her 5 husbands.
Give me... Oh, man. Okay, so it's Mazara for me on DraftKings, and it's Joyce for me on FanDuel.
Is the Kansas City weather a concern for you at all?
Not really. That game's more likely to just start late than anything else, so I'm not super duper concerned.
Matt Olson or Ryan Braun on FanDuel?
On FanDuel, Ryan Braun.
All right.
Oh,
what do you think?
Yeah, Olson's 2,900. I would want to know who your other outfielder is if you took Olson, and I would want to know who your first baseman is if you took Braun.
And also, don't forget to stack. Don't just take a guy because they're a good value.
Yeah.
Try to stack them up.
That's true.
Get some correlations. Is Jock Peterson the best value play tonight at 2,200 on FanDuel?
He certainly might be. It's going to be real close. Let me pull it up here.
While you do that one, Bellinger or Matt Olson on FanDuel?
Olson.
Okay.
Yeah, Peterson at 2,200 is real crazy. How many lines did he show up in for me? God, fucking go away, game filter. Yeah, I have a large. I've got 50 lines with Peterson in it, so he might just be the best value play of the board.
Cool. There we go. Oh, that's right. The NBA game is starting right now, and they're going to J-Val because you know why? He's going to play angry because he doesn't want to lose minutes to Jacob Poeltl. If Jonas blows this, I'll be pretty upset. Like, I want to look at my phone in a minute and be like, oh, Jonas has 12 points.
He might have 12, but he might also have 12 into the fourth quarter then, too. Dude puts it together and then disappears. He
is a strong boomer bust play tonight. Bill Butler, by the way, has been mentioning Ty Lawson all night. And I haven't deliberately avoided it, but because I don't want to speak ill of Ty Lawson, he is still my guy. Not on a Ricky Rubio tier, but on the cheap guy tier. And I hope Ty Lawson does well, but I don't see it happening. This is John Wall's show. John Wall is doing that shit tonight. He's going to outscore Russell Westbrook by 10 points. Now that we're locked, I can say that.
Did you see the tweet or did you see the video your boys at Barstool posted earlier of that kid running into the wall in a tennis match?
I didn't know. Is that me? Is that what we're saying?
Nah, it's just funny.
I did not see it.
Bam.
Why is Wizards Raptors on NBA TV HD blacked out? I don't know. Great question. NBA TV stuff is weird sometimes.
Wait, what? How is it blacked out?
Maybe because it's a local game for that guy? I don't know. Peter Donato, that might be why.
Yeah. Where do you live? So Jewish, he says.
I wasn't going to offer that part up. I don't want to offend anybody more than I have with our talk of Eiffel Towering and such. FD now has NASCAR like DK. Where's the switching head for drivers? Actually, ironically enough, or maybe not ironically, that's not the right usage of ironically. Coincidentally, I talked about that on the premium video I did with Osimo today. Which unfortunately went to the embers of my computer not being able to handle recording video because it's just a MacBook. It's just a silly little Mac Mini. But we are apparently working on a model for NASCAR. So that's exciting. And Alex is going to reclaim his spot on top of the DFS players of NASCAR. So keep an eye out for that, where one day we'll have that model. Josh is working on MMA. Got a lot of new models coming up.
I also started looking at NASCAR, oddly enough, yesterday.
Ooh. All right. And I'm here for WNBA. That is where I'm going to shine. I promise you that much. There will be a WNBA switch and hedge as long as they think that's a worthwhile usage of my time. I have no problem with that. Can't wait. Can't wait. Football, too. God. NFL drafts tomorrow, right?
I don't know. Who cares about the NFL?
No, you're lying there.
Not
We're going to be up against it, I think, aren't we?
What?
Or at least, no, we'll be pre-games of the NFL draft.
I don't even know when it is.
Pretty sure it starts at like 7 East Coast time.
News to me.
Really? You don't follow the draft at all? I like knowing that stuff and knowing where guys are going to go.
Looks like it starts at 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, so I mean, we're not going to do a live stream during the draft because that's a bit of a reach for a DFS brand, but we'll definitely talk about it a little, especially on Friday. I think we will certainly get together and convene a little bit on what we think about those picks. Sam Darnold is my guy, so I'm hoping he lands on the spot. That's good for him, and it gives him some fantasy value. Tie it all together.
I hope. I don't hope anything.
Who's your football team?
I guess the Redskins, but I don't really care anymore.
I'm a Cowboys guy.
Okay. So is my dad.
Oh, good. Your dad seems like a good guy. I actually picked the Cowboys because I would pick all the teams that my dad hated when I was a kid because I thought it was like fun competition and not like Freudian competition.
Sure.
So my dad was a Giants fan, and my earliest memory of football was Troy Aikman getting sacked and stretchered off by Lawrence Taylor during their 1-15 year. And then they won the Super Bowl next year, and I don't remember any of the positives, but everybody called me a bandwagon kid my entire life. But my first memory was crying because Troy Aikman got stretchered off.
I picked all my favorite teams like when I was 6, so it's all the teams that were really good in 1991. Duke,
That's about right.
Redskins, the Braves. I found the Braves just way more likable as a youth than the Twins were that year. Turns
Braves
out
are fun.
Kirby Puckett was a gigantic piece of shit in real life, so I'm kind of happy about that. Sorry if I'm talking bad about Kirby Puckett, Jake. I don't know if you're still on here right now. I know you're a Minnesota guy. What are the other teams that were good at that time? I don't know. I don't really like support any teams anymore outside of Liverpool.
Yeah, I grew up because my dad was a Knicks fan, and also because of the cult of Michael Jordan too. I grew up a Bulls fan, and I just fell off with it.
Every kid liked Jordan, so
yeah, I stuck with it. I was with him through the Rose years and stuff, but it's hard. Like I'd rather just watch the best NBA games than commit to like a shitty team. Thought about getting back in on Brooklyn because they're fun shitty, but I don't know. They're not there now. It's tough. I don't want to be a Lakers guy, and I'm not here. Oh, sad. Nothing else good. Cowboys are not good. I agree. It's actually been awful that the Cowboys have been bad for most of my adult life, and I still get the bandwagon fan tag because I have suffered as much as anybody outside of Cleveland. I think I've suffered. Yeah, fucking Cowboys are just an upsetting team. Tony Romo, I miss you, but boy, you were bad for a lot of years.
I loved him.
He was fun, but man, that Seattle game, that was when I was starting to gamble too. I think in college, and like that hurt me on 2 levels. That was when I decided I'm never going to have Cowboys on my fantasy team or try to avoid them as best I can. Didn't want to bet on them. I just don't want to merge those two because then it hurts twice as bad.
I liked all of the guys. Like I like guys that people hate in their own town. So like I really liked McNabb when he was on Philly because
he was fun.
People hated him.
They did.
Same way, like, no one was ever, like, no Cowboys fans were ever like, yeah, I think Romo's good. So,
yeah,
I would like him. Because I would have Gus Farad or some other fucking asshole as the quarterback of the Redskins. And I was like, well, I mean, look, I got Heath Schuler here.
But they had the run, though. They had the 90, they won in, like, 89, right?
Who? Redskins?
The Redskins?
91.
Was it? Oh, is that? Okay. Huh.
That's when I picked them.
Yeah. Ah, there you go. And now they just insult Native Americans every day by existing.
Yeah, it's really bad. And I'm a Braves fan, so like I doubled down on my disdain for the Native American people. I don't, the 6-year-old Josh didn't understand the cosmetic value of that.
A little problematic. It's a little bit problematic.
Yeah, I'm not I hate myself for it now. It's like, God, You couldn't just like a normal team that's just like a Jaguar or a Bear or some shit?
Instead, but you went with a proud warrior. Like maybe it was kind of a testament to your love of diversity at a young age, where you were like, oh, I want to gravitate towards this different looking person.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, and that's not to get onto this whole thing, but like they should change the names because people say they should change, like because they should, but I don't equate the two. Like, and I didn't as a kid. The like the tomahawk chop or like the Redskins logo or the the Indians mascot guy. Like those things weren't tied to a genocide of people. They were just like cartoon characters and like things you did because of that sports team. There was no joining factor to my mind, and there still isn't when I hear it. I just know better now. So it's such a tricky thing. Like, just get rid of it and be done with it now. But they're not the same thing in my head. I don't equate the two.
It's tough. The Redskins one is a straight slur. The Indian guy is tough because, like, I'm sure you've seen the thing that's gone viral a million times of like the Caucasians, or like if you had every race represented by like a Chief Wahoo-esque character. Right. Not the best, but like still, you're right. As a kid, you're just like, oh, he's just like friendly, lovable, smiling guy.
Exactly. Like it's just like anything in speech. It's all about the intent. The intent in my mind was just as an entertainment vehicle. But they should change all of that shit because everybody's like, yo, that's real bad now. Like, then just be done with it. I'm fine with it. Turn Washington Redskins into the Washington whatever you want and be done with it. It's that easy. Nobody's going to give a shit. Yeah,
I agree. Look, Josh, you made your stance. I feel like this is a strong way to close it out. Also, the fact that one of the guys pointed out that we picked our teams in years that he wasn't even born. So that's fun.
How old are you?
33.
Oh, okay. Samesies.
Yeah, so we both were there, and this guy was just floating around his dad's balls, hoping he didn't die in a towel somewhere.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
What?
Blasting him off.
Far cleaner with Jake, I think. But
I don't think we're going to get into race relations or porn stars or any of the other boxes that we checked off today where Tom was sitting at his desk like, yo, you guys are on ice for a week or two.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to break Jake. I'm going to get him down. He's going to be in the gutter with us soon. It's going to take a couple weeks, but we'll get there. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thanks for sticking with us as we talked about so many different topics. And as always, chat, we appreciate you chiming in throughout, even if you have bad opinions or bad picks. We love you so much, deeply and romantically, and I just want to tongue kiss every single one of you. Just like Joe Namath, that's the goal. Hopefully you joined our Playline contest, but even if you didn't, join playline.com right now, playline.com/r/awesemo. You'll get a free $5 for signing up. If you deposit anything, you'll get money. It's pretty easy to win money on there as long as you put projections that are close to people's averages. You'll probably win some money. So get on there now, build your bankroll. Make sure to sign up for awesemo.com premium memberships so you can see all the things that we talk about and reference and look at them yourselves and use them to build lineups. And like and subscribe the videos and, well, I guess not subscribe to the videos. Like the videos, subscribe to the channel. Watch Josh's stuff, watch Jake's overnight videos. We're doing a lot of content here. We're going to do that video with me and Awesemo soon for premium members. So, boy, we're doing stuff. We are working hard.
We are. Still some space left in that awesemo.com Playline contest. You have until 9:25. It doesn't lock until the later games, so head on over and get into that shit. To the 80 people that are still on this.
Yeah, there you go. Get in there now. Get some entries in. You're probably going to win some money. They have a decent amount of overlay there. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will be back tomorrow with more. So,
later, people.
Bye.